Hi folks, I'm back down in the boat doing a wee job today to try and get tidy up for the weekend. Tonight I am looking to fit my Raymarine autopilot, tiller pilot, whatever you want to call it. So as you can see, I've tried this already. The problem was, whenever you look at my tiller, it went fine, came underneath here, which was great, but it bounced off the motor. Yeah, so as you can see, I had this, and then which went on like this. The problem is then it has to go like this here, which is obviously not the great angle. Now before I had a wee thing to bring it down to there, but as I say, it was hitting on the motor there. So what I'm going to do is relocate this. I'm going to leave this on for now and build something up here. So I'm going to get a bit of wood, screw it on, and I've got a wee thing to lift it up so it should over it. Okay, so here is the bracket and a bit of hardwood, and I got it on eBay. So the plan is to drill holes through here, bolt through, and then put something countersunk on the bottom to keep it together, and then put it up here, and then have two separate nuts and bolts going through that to keep that on there. The reason why I don't bolt that directly is because it's just not big enough, so the bit of wood gives me the extra space. So now we have the holes drilled for this. Next up is to drill two holes either side, another two, and countersink them, so that will go through. The plan then is to go through this bit here. Okay, so next bit done. I've been using these wee barrel nut type things. They're usually used in furniture, but quite useful. I countersunk a hole, so this is now flat. It means then I can screw in from this side and still then have screw through the other, so I don't have to screw this through the whole thing as it won't fit. So next step then is to drill through the boat, the fun bit. Okay, so what I didn't account for was the fact when I ordered this here that the height here, I kind of hadn't accounted for it, so I think this is actually going to be a bit tall. Good thing is I can just change this bit here, cut it off, or make it a bit shorter or something, or get a replacement one that's smaller. But yes, I need an extension thing as well. I actually have a Simrad, and I'm hoping that will use over. I think they're the same screw, maybe the different end, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, so we're all ready to tighten up. As you can see, we want to get that black thing on there first before we start tightening it up. There's a bit of an overlap. I've only 3 holes drilled. What I want to do is get some silicone in there to seal it so the water doesn't get in. And there we go. So we have the top bit screwed in, tighten into that, and then 3 bolts just go in. So the final step now is a bit of silicone underneath and fill those holes and then tighten up. Job's a good one. Alright, so finally got this fitted. Got dark the other night and it was raining, so I get up. Plus I wasn't overly happy with the way things were going. I thought it was going to be too high, but as I will show you now, I was out racing on Saturday, or not racing, I was out for a cruise on Saturday, and I had my outboard rather than my electric outboard, so my petrol one, just for a better range, and I noticed a wee problem. So if we take a look here, so that's me working the autopilot. All good. Okay, so I've got the autopilot plugged in. So as you can see, it gets to here. It's catching. Now there's a couple of wee prongs at the back here to tilt it like this here, so I think I can actually get a bit more height. So have the tiller coming a bit higher, which then kind of works well with the way I actually have fitted the tiller pilot. Yeah, so I'm hoping. I also need an extension bar. I had Simrad ones which seemed to fit. I'll show that in a wee second. The only thing was the wee end things, the wee bit that connects into the spud is different. It's a different thread for some reason. So I've had a wee pack of the Simrad one, so I can use the Simrad end and the rod and then just connect it on here. So I'll show that reset. Okay, so here's a couple of Simrad extension bars. I had these over the years, different boats, but I kept them when I sold my tiller pilot Simrad one. As you can see, I still have the end. I'm not needed because the other one doesn't screw in. The Raymarine one doesn't screw in. So I took the two shorter ones. The long one was just too long. As you can see, it's kind of straight to the top. So that seems to be about the best fit there. It'll be interesting to see it get out in the water now. If you take a look, so we've lifted up that wee bit, even that wee bit, and it's actually very straight and will fit under that. So, but a few more modifications. Work's never done, but it seems to work alright. I'll have the electric motor back in for the race on Saturday, so it should be all good. That's in auto mode. Obviously not going anywhere. I have all Raymarine instruments, so I have it all hooked up as well, so I'm hoping to get the wind so I can actually, it'll steer to the wind. Should be pretty cool. Okay, so quickly, well, it's not plugged in, but give you a rough idea. So we've a Rayothian remote control as well, just wired in here, which connect to the seat hook. Pick that up cheap on eBay. So if I start pressing the buttons, so it means I can control the tiller pilot from the front of the boat if I'm changing, tightening the sheets or something like that there. So that'll be useful. We're back down for another evening, just tidying up. Last job. As you can see, we've got a bit more height now on this here, so it's actually a good bit away from the outboard. It also means this here's reasonably straight too. I have a bolt. You can probably see underneath there I've got a bolt now, so I can actually adjust it up or down. So whenever I take this out, I can adjust it down too. So hopefully that should all work very well. I suppose the next step is to actually get it out in the water. So hopefully get some videos from that on Saturday. So here we are mid-action. We are 15 knots winds, 4.5 knots speed over ground. The speed through water isn't working right, but yes, it's holding course great. So we're sailing downwind. A good day of sailing solo. Autopilot doing a lot of work when I change tightening sails and whatnot. So yep, good job.